any character as much as Likely. It's felt like a partnership, as if he was leading me through the story and I was just nudging him here and there.
In Likely Plays a Joker, one of England's prolific mystery writers introduces a new set of characters to his growing and enthusiastic readership. When a practical joke turns to murder, Inspector Likely's story is pitched into a fast-moving case, complicated by police politics of the 1930s. There's talk of amalgamation, and the small borough police force must protect its reputation. As story uncovers a web of corruption, blackmail and murder in his quiet provincial town, his investigation disturbs the high echelons of British policing. Likely Plays a Joker began with the best New Year's present for any writer, a blank page.
Oh, definitely. A blank page is one of those golden moments of writing. I can't tell you how much I look forward to it. And it's not just the freedom of knowing that you can go anywhere, do anything. It's also an opportunity for me to think about what sort of book I want to write. I like to get a sense of how the book will feel. Is it a story to read on the bus or in your armchair? It's part of reflecting on the trust between you and your readers.
Malcolm's passion is paperback fiction. That means a fast-moving police investigation. Yes, the characters and the setting came first, but he wanted the investigation to drive the story. Also, true paperback fiction means an honest value-for-money price. Likely Plays a Joker is released on the 10th of October 2016 for just $3.99.
Most of my murder stories focus on policing in the olden days. I do draw heavily on the yarns that the old coppers told me about days gone by. Were they true? Who knows, but the important thing is that people thought they were true, so it does give you a feel of how policing was.
As a young man, Malcolm Noble served in the Portsmouth Police, a chapter in his life that brings authenticity to crime fiction.
I like to browse through the formal police histories until something catches my curiosity, and there we are, we're developing another theme or another set of circumstances, perhaps another conflict. Like all the best characters, Likely came pretty much complete, and although I spent 2 weeks with him before I put pen to paper, it was as if he was introducing himself to me and I wasn't asking any questions.
Malcolm Noble has written 15 mystery novels set in the south of England from the 1920s to the 1960s. He has presented his own weekly book programme on local radio and has had 2 plays produced on FM radio. Press reviews have emphasised his sense of place and atmosphere, his strong characterisation and first-rate storytelling. Although Malcolm's books are set in the south of England, he has lived in Market Harborough for the past 30 years, where he and his wife run a tiny second-hand bookshop tucked away in the town centre.
This is the desk where I put pen to paper for most of my books. Generally, I write in fountain pen so that it slows me down. I write more carefully than I can read what I've written. Usually on scraps of paper. I've never written any manuscript in a notebook or exercise book. I do make copious notes, and I shall speak about that later on. But at this stage, when I get to write things down, it's on paper bags, backs of envelopes, and it all goes into a biscuit tin. And the biscuit tin is full. That's when I have to start typing it up, and that's when the real work begins with editing and so on. It's not a very tidy way of working. There's plenty of interruptions, and I'm sure it wouldn't suit many writers, but for me it does seem to work. While I put pen to paper indoors, the creative stuff has to happen outside for me, and most of my books have been composed in the little courtyard outside the bookshop.
Across South Leicestershire and North Northamptonshire, Moley.
102.3. A radio interview from 2013 provided an insight to Malcolm's writing day.
It's about 4 months to write.
Yeah.
That's not saying that I could do 3 a year, because they're quite exhausting, really.
Do you sort of go in a sort of quiet room away from all and get your imagination running away from you, and you write a few lines and then you sort of add to it and things like that?
I've got my own particular way. I try and learn 600 words at a time, and when I know that I can recite 600 words, which is about a page and a half,
Okay.
I think, okay, if I can remember it, then it's got to be close to being right.
Do you ever put something down and think, oh, what was that I wrote?
Oh, yes, all the
You know,
time.
us,
All the time.
well, I was saying us men, me particularly, I mean, I've got spidery doctors writing. I can't even read it myself, and anybody else, so, you know.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah?
All the time, and it's frustrating.
What is that? What is it I wrote?
Especially since if you're writing quickly, it's because it's good. And of course you come back next month and you can't decipher it.
And the thing I like about him is that although he is very keen to mention the previous cases that he's worked on, he's not actually the great detective. He gets there only with the help of his team. He also has a very charming wife who was just a delight to include in the book.
Likely Plays a Joker is released on the 10th of October 2016 for just $3.99. Will we be hearing more likely stories in the future?
You know, I don't think I've enjoyed working with any character as much as Likely. It's felt like a partnership, as if he was leading me through the story and I was just nudging him here and there. So yes, I'm sure we'll work together again, but there's no doubt about it.
My name is Emily Brooks. Thank you for supporting the world of Malcolm Noble's crime fiction. The Shropshire Star says it's parochial policing at its best.
The world of Malcolm Noble's crime fiction.